Hello, everybody. My name is Dola Biodu. I'm a student of Brandman University, and my presentation will be is on stakeholder educational plan video on the problem of childhood obesity, which is a problem of the main problem of my clinical scholarly project. How big is the problem? Childhood obesity is a national epidemic in the United States, and body mass index greater than 95 percentile is classified as obesity. It affects children and adolescents between the ages of 2 to 19 years old. According to World Health Organization, it is the most serious health condition of the century. How big is this problem again? Medical conditions related to obesity includes hypertension, dyslipidemia, sleep apnea, osteoarthritis, back pain, insulin resistance, prediabetes, fatty liver disease, type 2 diabetes, also psychological problems like depression, low self-esteem, and poor school performance is also being seen in children. My stakeholders group and roles. My stakeholders will involve the CEO and vice president of the clinic I work at. I work at a for-profit private clinic. They will give me the permission to conduct my CSP project in this clinic. Providers and nurse practitioners will assist, that is, the medical doctors and the nurse practitioners in all the clinics will assist with the implementation of our project. Medical assistants will triage participants, get vitals, demographics, and record height and weight and body mass index. The front desk will pull chart of participants, call and make appointment for participants and also the parents. Participants' parents will sign the consent, will help with transportation of the participants through and through the clinic. My pickle question involves is in adolescents ages 12 to 18 years old who are overweight and obese in a family practice setting, the use of a jump rope for 1 hour 3 times a week compared to current practice results in a 5% weight loss over 12-week period. I'll be basing my CSP on the nursing theory. My nursing theory is on the Kit-Lawrence change theory. The Kit-Lawrence change theory has three models, which is the three stages, which is the unfreezing, the change, and also refreezing. Unfreezing is finding a method for people to let go of an old unproductive pattern. It's necessary to overcome the strains of individual resistance. In this unfreezing stage, if we apply to my CSP, is to find a way whereby the adolescents will let go of their old unproductive pattern, their old ways of sedentary lifestyle to adopt a change, which is the physical activity, which is the active lifestyle. So to change, it involves the process of change, which is considering the behavior, the feelings, and the thoughts to change it to be more productive towards adopting physical activity. The refreezing stage is that requires establishing the change as an habit. My CSP will be based on the conceptual framework, which the one I chose is the theory of planned behavior, which was founded in 1985. This involves attitudes, subjective norms, perceived behavior control towards an intent. That's the intent of adopting a physical activity lifestyle, which will eventually change the behavior. The theory of planned behavior, like I said, was founded in 1985, was now revised up until 2011. It's been used in several studies to understand adolescent health behaviors. The educational plan that I have involve educating about the problem of obesity, that is the cause of it. The cause is multifaceted. It involves genetics, environmental, physiological, and psychological factors. But I will be concentrating on the physiological factors. The physiological factor just basically means that the energy intake is greater than the energy output. That is, these adolescents are, you know, they're eating, but they do not adopt. They are not adopting that physical activity lifestyle that is recommended by the American Pediatric Association. So that way they are living that sedentary lifestyle, being on their cellular phones, on their games, on their tablets, on just electronics, and not being physically active. 1 in 6 children and adolescents are diagnosed with overweight and obesity. The cost of treatment for obesity and complications is over 254 billion annually is being spent on this. The incidence has increased within 2 to 3 folds in the last 2 decades. This is a very big problem. In this diagram, you see the slight increase over the decades of childhood obesity. It also involves racial disparities. The Hispanics, about 21.9%, are being diagnosed with childhood obesity, and it now trickles down to the non-Hispanics whites that are less diagnosed. This also is a very good diagram that shows how a healthy child can adopt the sedentary lifestyle and end up being an obese adult. The research shows that an obese adolescent is likely to become an obese adult with complications, of course. The practice change shows evidence-based practice. It's an evidence-based practice, which is the recommendation of jump roping as a form of physical activity for adolescents overweight that are diagnosed with overweight and obese, for them to to be physically active for 60 minutes 5 times a week, um, for 5 times a week. The effect of jump rope is evidence-based. Jump rope is easily accessible, simple to use, able to improve weight and cardiovascular function. Studies shows that adolescent girls state that they would be motivated to participate in exercise if perceived fun. They need limited space to perform jump roping. It does promote a better exercise program for this age group. The implementation plan that I have includes recruiting a total participants of 40 adolescents between the ages of 12 to 18 years old. They may be male and female. They should be in school, the grade school. Their weight will be taken in kilograms, their height in centimeters and inches. Body mass index will be calculated, and of course, informed consent will be taken from their parents. Implementation plan includes me giving them a questionnaire will be provided to these adolescents to be able to assess how ready they are to involve in physical activity. The methods, like I said, 40 participants will be recruited, but they will be randomly assigned to either the jump rope exercise group or the control exercise group. 20 participants will be in the exercise group, and 20 participants will be in the control group that do not have any physical activity. The measurement will be taken in height, weight, also in kilograms. Body mass index will be calculated before and after the 12 weeks program. The jump rope will involve, that is, jump rope will be given to each participant, and each participant will be educated to have the jump roping. Board will start with a warm-up exercise for 10 minutes. The warm-up exercise includes either walking, stretching, or jogging. Then they will perform the main exercise session for 40 minutes. Then afterwards, the cool down exercise will be for another 10 minutes. Implementation plan includes follow-up. Participants and parents will be seen once a month for evaluation of their progress and to answer any questions. We want to be safe in this project, so we want to assess, make sure that the adolescents are doing very well with this exercise program and they do not have any complications or any questions. Participants and parents will be told to keep a log of how often the participants use the jump rope, and for weekly and also for the duration. Participant BMI will be obtained pre and post intervention. We will never fail to follow up with the participants. Like I said, safety is our ultimate in this CSP project. Overall, this CSP project needs collaboration of all stakeholders for success, and thank you very much for your cooperation. These are my references, and also this is the end of my presentation, and again, thank you.